Welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Thursday. And of course, let's head down to Geelong in particular. Of course, currently it is the World Beach Volleyball Tour at the moment. So, of course, first round down in Geelong. And of course, we've got two very special guests who represent the all-conquering Perth Steel in the AVSL competition, which they clean swept the competition, not just the women's, but the men's as well. Of course, winning in Bendigo only about 2 months ago now. And of course, we've got two very special guests joining us now from that team to tell us a bit about it. Thanks both for joining us.
Thank you.
No worries. Thanks for having us.
No worries. Well, I'll get both of you to introduce yourselves and tell us what position both of you play for the Steel team this past season.
I'm Daniel Piggott. I'm the captain of the Perth Steel, and I play pass hitter, so pass and hit.
I'm Jed Walker. Spent most of the season playing as an opposite for the Perth Steel, but ended up finishing off the season as a pass hitter as well.
About the Steel season, as I mentioned, the women's team had a brilliant season and obviously finished with a gold medal. And yourselves did the same thing as well. How cool was it to head into Bendigo, which obviously is not far from where you are at the moment in Geelong, and then come away back to WA with a gold medal between both teams?
It was pretty surreal. I think it's the first time that's ever happened for both WA teams to walk away. It definitely is, because it's the first time the men have ever won it. So yeah, pretty cool vibe, especially the after party and at the airport, etc. on the way home, all walking around in a pretty good mood. So yeah, it was a pretty cool experience.
I think the girls playing before us and winning definitely put a lot more pressure on us, but I'm glad we got the job done. Made for a better weekend for sure.
Going into the finals, obviously you had to play a semi-final on Saturday and then the grand final on the Sunday. Did you have a feeling that you could go all the way, that, both yourselves and the women's team could return back to WA with a gold medal?
Yeah, I think our coach, Mike Peterson, he always said that we hadn't played our best game yet, and we still don't think we played our best game even in the final. The girls are always very impressive. Their coaches are so good, so we knew they would be good on their end. We just had to hold up our end of the bargain.
Yeah, I think the same thing. The girls they've been strong for a few years now, so I think they played in the grand final last year and won silver, so it was kind of their second time around, so a little bit less nervous maybe, but yeah, really good for them to get the job done and finally get that gold. I think for us, we're quite a young team, and it was all of our first times in a grandie, so I think we're running on a lot of adrenaline, but yeah, stoked we were able to get the job done.
How did the team find the new format?
Very exciting. Like we found it a good opportunity to be on a level playing field with everyone. Everyone had to learn something new. So we always said, why not be the best at it? And I definitely think we capitalized on it better than most teams, especially in the grand final.
Yeah, I think it was anything that brings more attention to volleyball, in my mind, is a good thing. So I think they did a really good job. Like, they nailed it with all the marketing, everything, brought in some big crowds, got to play in some pretty cool stadiums. So yeah, I loved it. And yeah, like I said, it was a new thing to learn, and it was a pretty cool experience trying to figure out new strategies and things like that. Mostly the coaches, not so much us, but it was pretty cool trying to learn all that side of things.
Considering that obviously the normal game of volleyball, it's first to 25, and it's the first of 3 sets to win it. But obviously you had to play the full 5, no timeouts at all. The power play on top of that, which obviously is double points. Was it a battle of stamina in regard to, making sure that the stamina of the team was right for the long haul, considering obviously, if you win 3-0 or 3-2, you still had to play all 5 sets?
I don't think I didn't feel as much difference from the normal 5 sets, because I think even though they would go for a little, like the actual sets were longer to 25 versus 18. So even though we played more sets, I still think we're on court for about the same amount of time as that we would normally. Not having any timeouts was a bit weird. You had to find different ways to slow the game down and change momentum, because that's normally a big play for a coach to call a timeout, try and break the other team's rhythm, things like that. So yeah, it was definitely a different feel, but I didn't feel too much difference in terms of stamina. I don't know about you.
Yeah, well, I think we were lucky that we had such a deep team this year. I feel like everyone stepped on the court was like right at the standard, so a lot of us could catch a rest when we needed to. But the game was going so quick with so much adrenaline. It happened very quickly, and it was good.
You mentioned about obviously the celebrations on the way back from Bendigo over there to Perth. What was it like, and especially to share the moment within your own team, win the first one for the men's program, but obviously to share it with the women's as well?
Yeah, I think I've been playing in WA for a very long time and been trying to get into that top team, the same as a lot of people. And a few people like names like Jonathan Haig and Cable Monk, they've been playing for 11 and Haig's maybe 20 seasons, something like that. And to be involved and to share it with them was like very special to me. And the same for the women's. We're friends with a lot of them, and I know they've put in the work. So I was very happy to see us both get the result we wanted.
Yeah, I think like even our coach played for Perth Steel however long ago. I think he got the silver medal against Queensland, which is the closest we've ever got. So for him to come back as a coach and still be a part of all that is pretty cool to finally get the job done. And the same with Cable Monk and Jonathan Haig. They've been around it forever. And yeah, to share that moment with them is pretty special because they've been in it for the long haul. So yeah, glad to be on the good end of things and get the job done.
What was the reception like back in Perth after winning the national title back home?
I felt very special. It's everyone walks past, the young kids look up to us a fair bit now, and oh, you're Piggy, and because of the attention, and definitely have to pinch yourself every now and then because they make us feel very special. No, it's been really good.
Yeah, I think the buzz of the win, I don't even know if it's gone yet, but especially the first few months after getting back, just walking around, the whole volleyball community within Western Australia was up and about, and yeah, super supportive. I think they were just as stoked as we were to win. So yeah, like you said, it's pretty cool walking down the street and getting stopped because it's to stop and ask for have a chat or a photo or whatever. It's not something I ever expected. So yeah, it's pretty surreal.
Obviously, both of you would have got obviously the gold medal. How long did both of you wear it for, and did any of you sleep with it? Be honest.
I definitely slept with mine on. I think some of us call it the 24-hour rule. Once you get it, you're not allowed to take it off for 24 hours. So I wore mine. I slept in it. I think I may have even been guilty about wearing it back on the plane ride home.
They handed us a big trophy, and one of the perks of being captain is I got to carry it, and I had a spare seat next to me on the plane, so I made sure I strapped it in and showed everyone.
Two-part question on top of that. Did both of you get a chance to bite on your medal, and was it real gold? And then I'll ask the second one.
Yeah, it was solid gold, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It was a 24 carat.
I put up on Marketplace. I haven't got anyone to buy it yet.
Ah.
But definitely bit it more than a couple times.
Yeah. And then the second part, you mentioned about the trophy a moment ago as well, Daniel. How did you manage to get through security with it?
Yeah, it was a big trophy, I'm not going to lie, but I think it was actually surprising. Everyone was asking about it at the airport. Security were very intrigued by it. They didn't want to smell it. It smelled a bit funny afterwards, but no, they let us take it home, which was very, very lucky.
Did any of you get a chance to kiss the cup, Ace Chairs?
I definitely did about 100 times. I don't know about you.
I'd say I would have at some point for sure, yeah.
Yes.
And has winning the national title, has that sunk in yet to both of you since now it's been 2 months?
Yeah, it still doesn't feel real. It just, I think you know that it happened and it comes up every now and then, but just it's weird to say that you were part of the gold medal team. And yeah, it just, I don't know how long it'll take to sink in if it ever does, but yeah, I think it was a pretty special thing for all of Western Australia and hopefully put us on the map a little bit in regards to volleyball in Australia.
Yeah, I think in terms of the actual game itself, it was never really looking likely for us. And this guy next to me stepped up and was a massive part of why we won. And I think that part is really hard for me to sort of like fathom because we weren't in a good spot. But the fact that we got it done, yeah, it's not going to sink in for a while, I think.
Both of you, well, back in Victoria again, but this time for beach volleyball. Was there any transferable, skills or like stamina or something like from what you've learned from a really quick AVSL season to your beach volleyball season now?
I definitely think being professional, like having to fly and look after yourself after games, like the way you eat and stuff like that, has definitely transponded. But I think beach is so different to indoor. Definitely touching the volleyball as much as you can can't hurt, but there isn't it's not like a one-sided thing, it's very different. So mainly the professionalism, I think.
Yeah, I think as much as the skills are sort of the same, they do transfer a little bit. Yeah, it's a pretty different sport altogether. So I think you can't really hide on a beach volleyball court. There's only two of you. There's no subs, things like that. So yeah, you've got to be on and firing at all times, which is a little bit different to indoor. Yeah, there's no one sitting on the bench waiting to take your spot. So it's a lot more on you. You're traveling with just your pair versus with a whole team, your whole squad, and the coaching staff is obviously very different as well. Yeah, that's sort of the main differences I find.
You would have played the national tour on the weekend just gone. Obviously now you're in the world tour side of things now. You mentioned before we came on that you lost to the top seeded in the US team, and obviously got another chance coming up. How did you go on the national tour side of things?
We finished up with a 5th place, which I think is my highest. I think your equal highest result we've got. We're kicking ourselves a little bit. We let our quarterfinals slip. Just maybe could have got through to a semi and had a chance to play for a medal, which would have been unreal. But yeah, pretty stoked to come over here and win a few games and yeah, make it all the way through to the finals was pretty cool because yeah, it was my first time doing that and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think for me, Jed's obviously 19, he's a very young up and comer, and we haven't really played much together before, but I think that actually worked in our favor because expectations weren't very high. We just wanted to have some fun and have a real crack, and we did have a lot of opportunities. We took sets off the bronze and silver medalists of the comp, so definitely a lot of potential there. But yeah, no, very, very proud of how we're going.
Talking about now to the world side of things, do you know who your opponent is and when you're going to be playing down in Geelong?
Yeah, we play tomorrow at 1 p.m. Melbourne time against England, I believe. Yeah, so we play against them at 1. They lost to, who was it today?
Serbia.
They lost to Serbia. So Serbia will play the number 1 seeded Oz team that we lost to today. So yeah, we'll play England, and then the winner of that goes through. Otherwise, yeah, that'll be done for us. But I'm feeling really good, so I'm hoping we keep going through that.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
After the Geelong leg, I guess where's the next event that both of you be competing at?
I think Cobram is the next one on the national tour. So that's probably our next stop on the national tour, and then I think Futures there's one in
Sydney,
somewhere in Sydney. So that's on the radar for sure as well. And then there's some going all over the world. So it's a little bit pick your own path. But yeah, we just got to figure out what places we want to go to and what we want to do. But I think Cobram's the next national tour and the closest thing coming up. So I think that's our next stop.
But it sounds like both you're going to be pretty much on this side of the country for a fair bit of time. Is there a national tour coming to Perth anytime soon? So you at least just get some chance to stay home.
Well, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to show the WA way of volleyball, and we think we're pretty good over in WA, and we want to try and entice some teams to come and play there and build the sport back up in WA. We've got a lot of talent. It has been there in the past, but just a big commitment for these East Coast people to come to the West Coast. So hopefully we can get it going there again soon.
Yeah, I think Perth has the nicest beaches anywhere. I think we've got such a good setup over there. Like you mentioned, we've got some amazingly talented people over there. And it is quite the journey, but we do it a few times a year. So we don't think it's too bad. So we reckon they could all suck it up and head over for one round, which would be awesome to stay home and play in front of the home crowd. It'd be really cool. So hopefully that's in the sights for volleyball in Australia.
I hope so, and hopefully, you deserve to have some events over there in Perth, or not just Perth, but anywhere in WA. So hopefully that happens. So at least both you get a chance to stay over in there, WA, instead of obviously making that huge trip over here to the eastern side of the country. But let's talk about both your volleyball journeys. Where did it all start and why did you choose it? What did both you choose, indoor and beach volleyball?
I started when I was very young at Junior Up Indoor Beach Volleyball in Perth. So with the nets, most traditional volleyballers don't really like it. And then I got playing through Jason Fox, who's a really good coach and player back in Perth. And I he convinced me to go to an indoor trial. And then I sort of bided my time playing libero or libero. And then all of a sudden I had a bit of a growth spurt and thought I should have a hit. And then here I am. Yeah.
I started playing in school a few years ago, I think around year 10 or 11. Started playing indoor, didn't really touch the sand very much. But yeah, made my way through the wobble scene. And as I started getting up to the higher ranks, this bloke got me to come down to his club. And I've been playing with him and Jason Fox as our coach for the last couple of years. And yeah, really loving it there. And then gotten out on the sand the last 2 seasons, something like that. And it's just, it's a whole other game to learn. I'm loving every second of it.
You mentioned right at the start what position both you play for the Steel team. If you had a dream position where you like to play indoor, where would that be honest?
What position?
Yeah.
I would like to be a middle. I think Jose on our team, I think I could give him a run for his money. I mean, he's a Mexican Olympian, but doesn't really scare me. I think it looks pretty easy. So that would be that for me, I reckon.
As much as I love pass hitting, I reckon setting would be a bit of fun. I don't know, go test out Ryan Slater as well, see if he likes the competition. It looks easy.
Don't you? Because you're the captain, you surely got at least some sort of inputs over Jose, I'm assuming?
To be honest, no. I think
I
just like I think if we really wanted to have the final word, I think we would all listen to him. He's got like a wealth of experience, but
yeah,
my job is just to get the boys up and about, I think.
Now, what does the sport of volleyball, beach and indoor, mean to both of you?
It's just the last few years I've started playing. It's where I found my passion. Every time I walk out on court, I just feel it frees me up, and I just can't get enough of it. And all the friends I've made through it, they've been my friends for hopefully a lifetime. And I've just really found my passion and drive for it, and just enjoying every second of it, getting to travel the world and things like that. So hopefully it keeps going very well.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I think I love the beach and the outdoors and just competing. I love to compete, and I think volleyball, the community, you can compete against each other. It gets a little bit fiery, but off the court, it's one of the most friendly sports. So that side of things, I think friends for life is definitely a good way to describe it. Yeah.
What have both of you learned from each other on and off the sand or courts?
I definitely learnt from Jed that you don't have to overthink anything. If you want it, and you can go and get it. So the way he came on in the grand final was a good example of that. He just had an opportunity and he took it in his stride, and he didn't care about any of the external. And I think I've learned that from him for sure.
Thanks, man. I think since I've been down playing with him at Stars, I've just been trying to follow in his footsteps, learning just how to work hard. And because I don't think I've seen anyone work as hard as he can. I've seen him with nothing left, and he's still going harder than anyone else at training. So hopefully try and live up to that at some stage. Don't know if I ever be able to, but just how hard he works, I really admire. So
I've got to work hard when he's like pushing at my heels, you know.
Do either of you have any future ambitions in volleyball?
I think I've always wanted to represent Australia at the Olympics and win a gold medal. That's the ultimate goal for me. So probably in beach volleyball, I want to go win an Olympic gold medal is my biggest goal. I think biggest dream.
I think I'm sort of in the middle. I'm transitioning into like mentoring young guys like Jed and still competing and trying to get the best results I can. But just to see Jed do good would be a good goal of mine.
What will be your advice to people, especially back home in WA, that should get involved in volleyball?
I think if you want to get fit, it's you don't think about it, you just play. If you want friends, the sun, if you want to stay indoors, it's non-contact. Everyone's friendly. I think it's a really good community sport to play, to get to know people for sure.
I think volleyball is one of the few sports it's pretty equal no matter who you are. There's the women's game's just as big as the men's game, things like that. So yeah, I think just come down and have a crack if you're interested at all. That any club's gonna take you with open arms, and yeah, it's the best decision I ever made. So I can't recommend it more.
Finish off with a couple of lighthearted questions about your teammates. The still teammates I'm talking about. Is who had the most embarrassing moments on the court this past season, and what was it?
I'll take this one. So I don't want to offend anyone, but there's a setter for Melbourne who is a bit older now. I think he's in his 50s. He's quite small.
Okay.
And I got blocked by him, and I haven't heard the end of it since. Yeah.
I think I'd have to give Jose one for serving under the net at some stage.
Yeah.
That'd be up there.
I think another one was Cable Monk, the setter as well. He was wearing shoes, I think they're about 14-year-old shoes, and he didn't have any grip on them. And he was slipping around like a silly Billy all game.
Refused to let them go. He just loved them so much he wouldn't take them off. So yeah,
that's pretty embarrassing.
I have heard about that. Yes, I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. I do remember that. Yes.
You're welcome.
Now, who's the comedian, the best singer, and and social media influencer?
Social media influencer. You'd probably have to go our coach, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mark loves the good Instagram story.
We were staying with a couple of the NZ boys who are good friends with our Mark, our coach, and we had bets on for how quickly he would like your story on Instagram after you posted it. And 1 second was the winner.
Yeah. Yeah, he loves it. I think comedian, old Skipper over here might take the crown for that one. He's a funny bloke when he wants to be.
Is it really a comedian when no one laughs at you though?
Depends on the definition how you think the definition of comedian would be.
Yeah, I'm going to claim that one.
Yeah, you can have it.
The best singer happens to be Jed as well. He does have a voice of an angel. I get a little bit, I don't know, like doing these ones when he's singing. It's very good. Come on, give us some now, Jed. Nah.
Would be a good segue to my next question then. Do either of you have a pre-game pump-up song before you compete, either beach volleyball or indoor?
Yeah. I tend to try and keep myself relaxed because if I listen to a pump-up song, I get a bit too antsy and I start like getting the jitters and stuff like that. So I tend to listen to a bit of like the Rions or a bit of Ocean Alley, something like that. Yeah, so not really pump-up song, but that's sort of my pre-game music.
I'm just Gasolina. I like that. I'm going to Gasolina, yeah. Or TNT. Yeah, I'd like to get rid of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
Yeah, I tie my shoelaces in triple knots. If I don't, it messes with my head. So that's my indoor one. And my beach. On beach, I have to put my hat on before, anything else. I don't really have one in the sand, but indoor, I tie my shoelaces in triple knots.
I didn't know that. I don't have any superstitions now.
Can't wear sunglasses.
Oh, you know what? I can't wear sunnies when I play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think I should probably start wearing them. It's not good for my eyes, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we've finished with these last two. Any good nicknames in your steel team that we should know about?
Jed, we call Shed.
I'll tell them why.
Because I mispronounced Jed one time and it sounded like Shed. So
Shed. You got Piggy, Piggy, that's a pretty good one. Who else is funny?
Yeah, so Cable Monk is his name, and one day, I don't know, I just decided to call him Steve-O, and it's kind of stuck. So he just looks like a bit of a Steve-O to me.
Got some Steve-O vibes going on there, yeah.
Yeah. Jose, I don't know, just him yelling Mexican names.
The Tijuana Terror.
Tijuana Terror, yeah.
I think that's a commentator name, yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty actually. Also, our libero Louis McDonald we call Bunga.
Yeah.
In reference to Shannon Hearn from the Eagles because they've got big quads.
I do agree with that one, yeah.
Yeah. That's probably the best of them,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, those are definitely the best ones.
We'll finish with this last one. Did the team have a fine system this year? And if so, who copped the most fines?
We did have a fine system. Who copped the most?
I would say Jed copped the most.
I just copped them for being young, I think.
Yeah. I definitely deflected all of the fines onto Jed. I definitely copped a few. We had a good day of it. We had like a jury and a judge, and we got to plead our case and stuff like that. So
yeah,
Mark, our coach, is really good for stuff like that. Some people had to wear diapers and stuff like that. I won't go into too much detail, but yeah, it was pretty full on.
And no, you're not getting any photos.
No way.
I want to ask this as a follow-up here. So you just mentioned about the diapers a moment ago. How many players had to do that?
Just the two.
Yeah,
just two.
It was Jed and Tom Heppenstall, so 6'10" and 6'1".
Yeah,
they would look funny.
I'm not even going to ask why both of you got that. So I might quickly
punishment. We'll go with that. I'm the baby of the team. I'm the youngest, so I think I copped the diaper as a baby of the team. That's it.
Oh, geez, that's a bit stiff.
Very.
But both of you, thank you so much for getting up some of your time to join us. Obviously, you're in the midst of the World Tour side of things. Best of luck tomorrow afternoon down in Geelong. Let's hope you can get through to the next round. Hopefully to the next round, which and obviously onto the weekend of this leg of the tour.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
really
thanks for that.
Appreciate it.
That was awesome.
No worries, and that's Jed and Daniel there joining us there from, of course, from Geelong, because that's where they're at the moment, but of course they're part of the Perth Steel AVSL, of course, champion men's national title team, which won 2 months ago up in Bendigo. There's more on the Smash Sports Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.